Welcome to Real Combat, everybody. I'm your host, Mick Manhattan, and this is a debate show where two movie lovers come together with a movie of choice and why I should watch it. We go through 3 rounds, and tonight my special guests are Morgan Bradley and Brendan Petrizzo, actors in a new film that came out today, and you better be watching it rather than this, and that is The Devil's Triangle. Well, Morgan and Brendan, thank you so much for being on the show tonight, and I'm very excited to hear what movies you have for me. To get started, first, Brendan, you are the director of Devil's Triangle. Can you tell us a little bit about the film before we get started?
Oh boy, well, it's about a plane full of passengers that happens to accidentally, or maybe not so accidentally, get shot down somewhere over the Bermuda Triangle. I can't give out the exact coordinates. I'm not allowed to because of my contract. But they crash land on an island, again, can't say where it is, and are kidnapped by Atlanteans that are real because it exists 100%. And they take them to Atlantis, and maybe they're good guys, maybe they're bad guys. We don't know, but 45 minutes into the movie, all of your questions will be answered. And, hijinks ensue. It, like I mentioned in the other one, it's a shark movie, monster movie, Escape from New York movie, all in one.
And I love it. And Morgan, you play Vera Collins in the movie. And can you tell us a little bit about your experience working on the movie?
Yeah, I mean, working with the asylum is something that's pretty intense because they shoot 20 pages a day around about. And so, for those people that don't know a lot about the actual filming of a movie, it generally takes from 4 weeks to 4 months to shoot a movie. And we did this in 6 days. So Brendan's a beast, and he got us all through that, which was really cool. So yeah, I play Vera, one of the people on the plane that ends up in Atlantis, which is real because Brendan said so. And yeah, I play a marine biologist that has to kind of solve some problems and figure some stuff out, and there may or may not be some bazookas involved.
Maybe.
Right there. I mean, I've been sold by Escape from New York and bazookas. Like, it's perfect. I love that description from both of you. And everybody, like I said, it's out now. You can rent it. And if you are in one of the towns that are showing it in a movie theater, go check it out. We will have that listed at the end of this. Yes. But guys, thank you for coming on the show. I know you guys work together well. You're friends, but I'm pitting you against each other tonight.
Yep.
Yeah, let's fight.
I love it.
I'm going to go with you, Morgan, first. What is your movie of choice for tonight?
I have a feeling I know what Brendan's going to choose. So I am going to choose The Aerialist, which I actually happened to work with Brendan on, and that is where we met. So
nice.
I'm going to choose that.
Right. Mm-hmm. And Brendan, what are you going with, my friend?
I'm going to stand by the winning film of the night. I love The Aerialist. It was so much fun. It was honestly like a family on set, but we have monsters, so I'm going with Devil's Triangle.
All right. Well, there you go. I mean, you guys have worked on both, so it's going to be quite the fight, I'm sure.
Yeah.
How we do things here, the first person to go is the one with the oldest movie. And because The Aerialists came out in 2020, Morgan, that goes to you. You get to go first in this debate.
So old, 2020.
Round one, fight.
Okay, so The Aerialist is about a real life pop star that you may know, which I'm not going to name names, but there's some gossip that you'll find out throughout this movie. It's about a real life pop star and the dances and rehearsals and drama that goes on in the background. And my character, Runa, plays a reporter that is digging a little bit too deep. So there is some drama. There is some original music written by the director. There is awesome dance choreography, stunts, which is done by Drea Weber. And she is like the aerialist to the stars, has worked with Cher, Pink, Britney Spears, Taylor Swift. And then the choreographers are all star choreographers as well. Regularly work with Christina Aguilera and Britney and J-Lo. So there's a lot of celebrities in there. One of the Pussycat Dolls is in the film. So it's going to make you laugh. It's going to make you amazed. And it might even make you cry in such a beautiful way. And it's just a really feel-good, awesome movie. I feel like that's a good start to start you off with, Brendan.
Yes, the Aerialist has all that, but you know what it doesn't have? An airplane crash. You know what it doesn't have on top of that? Multiple airplane crashes. Matter of fact, we have fighter jets fighting sea monsters in the first 2 minutes of the movie. And then guess what? Then an airplane crashes. So you start out with a bang. All right. You don't have to sit through people talking. You just go right on into it and it just starts. All right. That's how Devil's Triangle begins. Now, obviously, you're sitting there probably thinking, well, they had a pussycat doll in the movie. All right. Well, you know what we have? We have Fred Williamson and we have Diana Prince. All right. So we have both horror, two horror icons, one scream queen, as well as Morgan. I mean, you get to see Morgan here fighting some, well, I don't want to say what she's fighting, but you get to see Morgan fight. And that's pretty cool. So I can say, in the Aerialist, I don't think she fights. I mean, not in that way, the way that she does in ours. She fights in a different way. Emotionally, she's challenged, but in ours, she's emotionally and physically challenged.
Oh, okay.
And she gets to do both and go to war with Atlantis.
That's a hell of an argument. And Morgan, I have to ask real quick, as we're talking about Devil's Triangle, and especially with it coming out today, and the Aerialist, how was that in terms of coming from a more dramatic role to a fighting role? And gotta imagine it's a pretty interesting turn for an actor as yourself.
Oh, honestly, it was awesome. I really do love doing dramatic roles. I think that that's my wheelhouse, as they call it. I find that the most kind of rewarding, because it's tricky, but it's also just like my favorite place to be as an actor. But doing Devil's Triangle and being able to be badass and like fighting things and holding weapons and turning and seeing something which Brendan doesn't want to mention, but some sort of creature, and being frightened, and it's just a green screen, and like all of these extra things as an actor that you get to do, and pretending that you're getting hit and things like that. So it is really fun, so much fun doing an action role. And I've always wanted to play like a superhero or a villain. And, this is not really either of those, but it's definitely in the middle there.
Should we tell them what you're fighting? Think that'd be fun?
Fine. It's going to make them tip towards you for now.
For now.
But I'll bring it back.
That's more of a challenge. I love a good fight.
Tell them.
You tell them, Morgan. I'll give this one to you.
All right. I'm going to let people guess. All right. I'll give you a few clues. It is a sea creature. Atlantis. Think fantasy. Possibly 3 or more heads. Some gnarly teeth.
Okay.
I'm gonna go say, Game of Thrones meets that guy with the trident that's like who's that guy?
Poseidon?
Yeah. And what is it called, Brendan?
I'm good, Mick. Dude,
you can say it. I'll take a guess.
Okay,
and then does it start with a K?
No, we don't have a Kraken in this movie.
Then leave it alone. I don't want to tell anybody. Sorry.
You guys already know unless you watch the movie.
Because I was super excited for a Kraken, and now I'm even more excited. So you have to watch the movie.
Look, it has their elements. If you're a fan of Krakens, there are elements of that in this in different ways. So you'll still be pleased, but this is something that hasn't been in a movie, I think, in about 10 years. The last time it was in a movie, I think, was back when they were doing that whole 300 and Clash of the Titans and all that. I think it was in one of those movies, if I remember correctly.
I am excited. Not being the Kraken, listen, I'm fine with it. Let me see what this is all about. I'm excited already. So Devil's Triangle is out now. Remember, everybody, finish the episode, then turn it on right after, and then watch Aerialist right after that. But I haven't made my choice on what's going to be the winner tonight yet.
Okay.
We are on to
round 2. Fight.
Brendan, I'm going to let you take this one first. Your rebuttal to Morgan's argument.
See, I would say, we have Morgan, but I don't know. She's competing with me, so I might have to bring in some other cool people. I did mention we have Fred Williamson.
Mhm.
We have Diana Prince. We have Liam. We have Allison. We have Tori. We have Mark.
And they're all such babes. Oh, wait, I'm on the wrong side. Sorry.
Yeah, you're on the wrong side. We have Jordy. We have. I'm trying to go through. You know what we also have? We have a Myram. All right, and the Aerialist doesn't have a Myram. And who is a Myram, might you ask? Myram is the king of Atlantis. Well, that's not his name in the movie, but that's his actual name. And we also, we have Anthony, and we have Alyssa. We have Victoria. We have Veronica. We have a whole eclectic cast. We have Kelly and Courtney, and I'm terrible with last names, so but we have with Devil's Triangle, we have such a great cast and such an eclectic cast of many different backgrounds, and some people hadn't done film before. I know that Kelly had never done film. She does a lot of modeling and music, and same with Courtney. And this was kind of a project where I was like, come on in, spread your wings, try it out, and if you like it, you like it. And so I know with Devil's Triangle, you'll see people, some characters you can't really tell, but they've never done this before. This is a first for them. But we have such a great cast, and I think the movie really is like nonstop go 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 go, and then there's that whole mystery element of what's going on. In Atlantis, are they good? Are they not? What's happening?
I love it. All right, Morgan. It's a hell of an argument. It's a hell of a rebuttal to what your first round. How about you? What is your rebuttal?
Well, it's tricky for me because he just listed a bunch of names of really great humans. So I'm struggling to rebuttal that because, hi guys, they're all great. But to win this, because that's what I like to do, is win, I'm going to say something awesome about the Aerialist specifically is, like I said, Drea Weber is the Aerialist to the stars. She regularly works with Pink. She actually choreographs, is one of the choreographers from Magic Mike Live, which is also really cool. And I think she's in London right now working with them. She's in Australia. She's all over the place. She's a star, okay? She gave us 2 weeks of intensive aerials training. Instead of them finding aerialists and then hoping that they can act, they found the best actor for the job and then trained us in aerials. I had never done it before. And in case you don't know what aerials are, they're the ribbons from the ceiling you grip on with all of and you flip yourself upside down, and then you wrap yourself up and you fall down, and like that from the circus. Like, I learned circus aerials. Like, it was epic. So if you want to see me possibly fail in aerials or possibly look incredibly great, you'll have to watch the Aerialist. And not only me, all of the, the dancers and all that did the aerials. And, like I said about the pop star, you may have some stars in there. You may have Fred and things like that. But I'm telling you guys, those pop stars in Devil's Triangle those stars in Devil's Triangle are acting, whereas the Aerialist is specifically about a pop star, which I'm not going to name names, but if you want to know some real life drama, you've got to watch the Aerialist and check that out, because that's kind of epic.
That's so salacious, and I kind of dig it. It's drawing me in so much.
It's really, really, really fun.
I love it, though. But before we get started on the third round, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit. Let's talk about the Devil's Triangle, and of course, I want to talk about the Aerialist as well. How long did it take you to film the Aerialist?
We did it 2.5 weeks. And something like a little tidbit, which I actually found out after we were done, was the writer and director, he basically got told, hey, they're going to demolish this soundstage and it's going to be available for 3 weeks or 2 weeks. Do you want to use it for anything? Do you have any films you want to film? And he was like, oh, no, but whoever gives you a space? Like, oh my gosh. So he wrote the film for the space. which is
insane.
so
That's awesome.
incredibly talented of Ned Farr. Like, he's incredible. So that's really cool. So we really just jammed it out to make sure that we got it done before they demolished the soundstage. And then we did a few like on location things. We even used the rooftop, and we had to like climb through this ladder in this like little manhole, and it was very burning sun in my eyes, but it was so beautiful looking over all of downtown. And
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And Brendan, you had worked on the Aerials too. Before we go on to the Devil's Triangle,
Yes.
I want to talk to you a little bit. You were the assistant director on this film, correct?
Yeah, I was the second AD. That was back when I started doing production full time.
That's fantastic. And so, can you tell us a little bit about the position of second AD and like what your responsibilities were?
Oh boy, it's actually very stressful because this was my third film as a second. But you know, the other two were Asylum, so they happened. I think that was back when they were doing 9-day shoots. So it was like I kind of knew what I was doing. I was like, all right, I think I know what I'm doing. And this was the film we did right before Veronica. So this and Veronica were shot back to back. And with the Aerialist, I remember being like, oh my God, like, because everyone, like, I follow the music industry a lot closer than I follow the film industry, and I knew who some of these choreographers were. Like, I knew like kind of the crazy backstory. So I was like, you know, with like a film set, you can show up and be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, you know, oh, you were in this movie. But here it was like, holy shit. All right, you've worked with this person. Great, love it. Okay, cool. You know this person. Oh, we have a mutual friend who knows this one person. This is scary. So it's definitely like more. I just felt more pressure, but it was just fun because, you know, I don't know how many of you all, you know, did like theater or stuff like that way back in like high school and all, but with the Aerialist and same with Devil's Triangle, I felt like the cast and everyone just became so close, and it was like this nice, tight, intricate, you know, family type environment. Like I remember Morgan, we'd show up to set and people were just cooking breakfast in the, you know, in the kitchen.
That's
Do you remember that?
So true.
That's awesome. That's such a great feeling, I bet.
Yeah, it was like
both of the films were like families, eh? Like everyone was just so awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
It was so much fun, and you know, Drea is so much fun to work with, and Ned is great, and like Drea has like the fun kind of like stage mom vibe, you know, like you can go to her for
badass at the same time.
Anything. Yeah, she'll whip you into shape, but you can go to her for anything. You know,
that
she'll just
abs. Boom, 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 boom. I'm telling you,
she has abs for days. All right, days.
Like I swear, her abs go all the way to her knees. You just don't.
And she'll literally just like. I remember one day, I think she just drank a coffee and was like, all right, just hopped up on the aerial thing, did some spins and stuff. I was like, okay, cool, let's go. And it was just like, yeah, if I tried that, I'd break my neck. You know, like I'd be leaving here. Like that's not, no.
I walked up the stairs after our last interview and I thought I broke my neck.
It was like, oh my God. And yeah, it was great. I mean, it was a really fun experience working on that and just, you know, being with everyone and in the studio. And for those B-movie fans, Monique Parent is in the movie. You know, you'll recognize her from a lot of, you know, Corman Films, Jim Wynorski movies and stuff. And she was great to work with. You know, she was so much fun. And, you know, she did such a good job with her character. I wish, you know, when we went to the screening, I was like, oh, I wish, you know, she was in the movie a lot more. I was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, I think she was only available for one of the days. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But her scene when she comes in, oh, so beautiful. That's when the movie just like starts to just like beautifully like crack you open and you're just like, oh, I'm so in love with all these people.
I can't wait to check it out for sure. But I don't know if it will be tonight because we still have another movie to talk about. And that is Devil's Triangle. And Morgan, I wanted to ask you, you know, again, with you saying that like you think you're more drawn to drama and this being such a visual effects heavy movie, what are some of your big takeaways from working in such a big visual effects type of movie?
I'd honestly only done green screen for commercials before. I used to have a children's television series in New Zealand. And so, you know, I only ever had to do it like I was a child, like, wow, you know, like, you know, Brendan's like, okay, there's this giant creature over there and it's going to get chopped here. And then this is going to fall there. And then, you know, and you're just like, okay, and there's 4 of us doing it, and like with nobody doing any timing things, like I don't know how we did it, but we all just managed to like get things done at the right time and the right like angles of our heads and things like that. And it looks really real, like when you watch the film, which to me, because I had not done it before, like I was so impressed by Asylum's special effects, and I'm sure you guys know a lot about that, but I was new to all of that, so.
Nice.
Around
Yeah.
Getting ready for your Marvel movie debut.
Oh,
It's gonna be awesome.
what a dream.
I am super excited, and so everybody knows, again, I know I've said it a few times, but I want to keep saying it. It is available now. Go check out Devil's Triangle. It looks like a lot of fun. And, right now, I'm still you guys have sold me on these movies so well, I don't know which one to go with. And you both worked on them, so I want to support them both.
Yeah.
I do have to pick one.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets personal.
Round 3.
What does each of your movies mean to you?
Ooh.
I'm going to start with you on this one, Morgan.
Honestly, as soon as you said that, I felt my heart like flutter. Now, I know this sounds really like over the top. Oh my God, classic actor, so dramatic. But it was my first ever booking in America once I moved here. It was my first lead role booking in a feature film and then I got to work with all of these incredible people and learn aerials. So that's what the movie means to me. Like it was basically, I've been planning to move to America, had been planning since I was 12 years old. And I saw Tyra Banks walk down the catwalk and be such a badass. I was like, Mom, I'm going to go there and do that one day. And my mom's like, okay. But then I stopped growing. And so I was like, oh, acting instead of modeling, that'll do. I'm not quite tall enough, only 5'6". But I reared calves. Rearing calves means like raising them to get them from babies to adults, just in case no one knows that. And then I bought, with that money, I bought another 12. So I'm like farm girl, like hustling to get to America. And then I'm like living here, trying to audition and trying to do all these things. And then I finally booked this movie, and it was like this pat on the back going, you're in the right place and you're doing the right thing.
Nice.
Go get it, girl. You know what I mean? I was like, so that's what it means to me. Like, it's just like so special, and I'll always remember that. And I was so lucky to have met Brendan, and I've got like lifelong friends with it now. So
that's fantastic. So
yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Great question.
Well, Brendan, I know you have personal connection as well to both, but I'm going to ask you, got to defend your movie, Devil's Triangle.
I do.
What does this movie? What personal feelings do you have towards this movie?
Well, I think for me personally, see, I can't now. Morgan's, I can't. Okay, all right. Let me see what I can do.
Yes, you can. I know this.
I'm a huge fan of nautical films. I mean, Jaws was one of my favorite movies of all time. Also, my favorite book of all time is Peter Benchley's The Deep, and I've always wanted to do something that kind of explores ocean lore, having grown up in DC and going to, Rehoboth Beach every year and spending countless summers at the beach being like, oh, it'd be fun to do kind of a crazy beach movie that's weird and wacky. When this movie popped up on the slate, originally a year before, during COVID times, I was slated to direct one film with Asylum called Jungle Run, which actually Allison ended up being in when the movie came out. And Devil's Triangle was kind of the other film that I was like, there's something about this one that's a bit different. It's not, it's an original, it's its own thing, it's weird, it's crazy, and I'm usually drawn to that. So I thought about it for about a year, and then eventually I was like, I think it's time to push for it, because I just felt like this connection to the movie, and that I would be able to experiment with things and, mix a few different, horror genres that people love into one thing, and I think that would definitely be my personal take on it. I was able to work with an amazing cast and crew, and, work with Morgan again, but, give her kind of like a crazy action movie, role, and kind of see her be a complete badass on screen, which she is in the Aerialist, but in this one she has guns. So
I love
in
it.
this one, she has guns. And, you know, like I mentioned before, I got to work with Grindhouse movie icon Fred Williamson and upcoming Scream Queen horror royalty Diana Prince. So, you know, I was able to do all that.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. You guys told some great stories. I'm really, really happy you could share them here on the show. But it is time. We must choose a winner. And yeah, this is a tough one. But I'm going to have to go with Devil's Triangle.
I knew it.
Ooh.
I know, but it's
okay.
after Thanksgiving. I'm sort of at
It's
a
a lot of
point
fun.
where I need some crazy sea monsters in my life, and some action, and I get you both in it. So we have
exactly.
directing and in front of the camera. So, but I will tell you what I'm going to do. First ever, because I have argued this in the past that I'll never do this, but I'm going to do it.
Here we go.
I will watch Devil's Triangle, which is the winner for tonight, and then I'm going to watch Aerialist.
Yes, watch it with your wife. I love that.
Devil's Triangle sounds awesome, and so does the Aerialist. Thank you guys so much for tonight.
Thank
This
you.
is a lot of fun. And Brendan, congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
Your movie
thank
won.
you for helping us. It was fun to battle it out, Morgan. We have to do this again.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I didn't know this is what I was getting into, and I'm very glad I did.
Yes, I'm so glad that you guys could come on, and the movie choices were great, and I'm so glad that you chose something so personal to both of you. I cannot wait to check out Devil's Triangle, which is out today, everybody. I know I've said it a lot, but I'm saying it again. Make sure you go rent it and support, because it's going to be a wonderful time. You're going to have a lot of fun. Brendan, thank you so much. Morgan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is a lot of fun. Everybody, it is playing in theaters as well. If not, it is available everywhere you can stream movies. So go out and rent it. Give it a great review on iTunes. Buy it a lot, as we were saying earlier.
Let's go trending, y'all. We got it trending. All right, on iTunes, get it trending. You know,
Absolutely. And we will be sharing everything out on the Scene Snobs to definitely promote. So, and look out for our review of Devil's Triangle, which will be coming out a few days after this, and letting us know what you think of the movie as well. Until next time, I am the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan. This has been Real Combat. Come back next week for an all-new episode. I will talk to you guys later.
Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob, and you can check out the Scene Snobs podcast live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, or you can check it out on any podcast platform or our YouTube channel anytime after that. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. If you guys want to join, check us out over on thescenesnobs.com. We have links for everything. The Scene Snobs merch store is open. You can check that out too. Links again on the site. Or like, follow, and subscribe on all of our social media. Again, head over to thescenesnobs.com. It's all there for you guys. Love you, and we'll talk to you guys soon.